How's everyone doing today? This is JJ Domination back here with another NBA 2K18 video, and the question today is, can the Celtics take down the Warriors? That is the big question on everyone's mind, as Frank Kaminsky for the Hornets is gonna hit a quick three. And yeah, that's the question on a lot of people's mind. A lot of people think that the Celtics have the best chance of coming out of the Eastern Conference as a winner, of the East, obviously, advancing to the finals. I think it's possible. I think they could get to the finals for sure. Really, their only competition to me is Philadelphia, the Pacers, and the 76ers, Pacers. I like the Bucks too, and I think possibly the Raptors. But the Raptors got to change some things up, man. I don't really see the Wizards as direct competition for these Celtics anymore. As you see, Kaminsky is just going off. He has 5 points. So yeah, this team obviously lost two all-star players, Gordon Hayward and Kyrie Irving. This team basically did it with Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Marcus Smart, and Terry Rozier. That was basically who they did it with, and Al Horford as well. Can't take nothing away from Horford. He's been a crucial part of this team as well, being the big man that can do a little bit of everything. So, do I think this team realistically, can they beat the Warriors? It's really hard, man, because now the Warriors went from having 4 All-Stars to 5 in about the span of 2 nights. They went and got DeMarcus Cousins on the mid-level exception, which I talked about in the first episode. I did mention DeMarcus Cousins. That video was about DeMarcus Cousins and the Golden State Warriors. Now this video is pretty much about the Boston Celtics. Can they take down that team? It's going to be hard, man. It's definitely, there's nothing easy about that whatsoever. For now, it's going to have to be not at this very moment, because the way that I'm looking at it, the Celtics have a lot of young talent, and I think if they continue to gel together and continue to find a good lineup that's going to compete with Golden State and compete directly against the Warriors, they're going to have to experiment this year. They're going to have to bank on Kyrie being healthy, and they're going to have to bank on the fact of him re-signing, but the rumors are he wants to go to the Knicks. So, initially it's like now or never, but never say never, because Scary Terry, aka Terry Rozier, he could be the starting point guard easily. I feel like if he just works on his defense a bit and gets consistent with his shooting, he's going to be good, because he's had nights where he's went off. He's had nights where he had crazy fourth quarters, and the Celtics just know what to do with the point guard. It's that simple. And I feel like as long as Terry Rozier plays the point guard position, he's going to be fine. But let's say Kyrie doesn't re-sign with this team. Let's say he actually considers going to the Knicks. Okay, you still have Terry Rozier. Granted, you'll probably need another point guard. Free agency's not really going to be point guard heavy, but you can definitely make an offer at a guy who you think fits the system. This team was able to do a lot without Kyrie in the postseason, so it's not like they're going to be missing a whole lot, because this team is really built on what Brad Stevens can coach them up to do. Yeah, Kyrie is a big factor in whatever game he plays in. He is one of the most clutch players in the NBA. As you see, he hit the biggest shot in Game 7 against the Warriors to take them down, followed by the LeBron chase down block, obviously. So, in my opinion, yeah, Kyrie is very important, but he's not really important to the Celtics, because the Celtics, at the end of the day, they still like their young players, and that's who they want to build the team around. They want to build the team around Jason Tatum and, possibly Jaylen Brown if they decide to stick with him. So for now, I'm going to say not exactly. I don't think they're going to compete with them this year. I feel like if they both go to the finals, it'll be 4-1 Celtics, or 4-1 Warriors, I mean. The Celtics will get at least one win. I feel like they just need to continue to improve the young players. Jason Tatum, he can shoot, but he's got to up those points per game, man. 14 points, and you were like the #1 option last year, behind probably Horford. That's not going to do it, man. That's not going to do it. You're going to have to put up at least 17 to 18 alongside Kyrie Irving next year. Because we all know Kyrie is going to probably put up like 24 points next year. Maybe Gordon Hayward puts up 17 or 18. I feel like that's where Jason Tatum can be as well. He can put up the 17 or 18. Marcus Smart, if they're able to bring him back, he just needs to go out there, probably get like 10 points a game, 5 or 6 assists, get 5 rebounds. He just needs to be the defensive, he just needs to continue to play some lockdown defense, and I feel like he can do that. And then this team is going to get Gordon Hayward back, and Gordon Hayward, I feel like a lot of people sleep on him, but he is an all-star caliber player in the West, which means he's going to be a lock for an all-star in the East if he's healthy and playing at that high level we know him to play as. Unfortunately, last year, his season lasted about 6 minutes. It lasted very, very short. Like, it was brief. And I was trying to think of an analogy. I'm not even going to go there. It was just a brief introduction to Gordon Hayward in a Celtic uniform. So, here's the thing, right? They're going to have both their all-stars healthy. They're still going to have Jaylen Brown. They're still going to have Jason Tatum, Terry Rozier. They're still going to have the core intact. And they're going to have Al Horford for at least one more year. So you're thinking initially, yeah, you guys need to just go out there and do it now. But let me ask you a question. What if they risk? What if they risk it, them being the Celtics? What if they risk it? What if they say, you know what? We're going to bank on the fact that we keep our core for another year. But just obviously less money. Like Al Horford makes less money. Kyrie probably gets a max and goes into the luxury tax for the Celtics. We still have those top draft picks. If we want to pull the trigger now and get a big player, even though we've been saying that for nearly 3 years now, what if we pull the trigger, trade some of these draft picks, and go get a player to complement this team? A guy who's on a cheap deal. That could work, especially if you're able to match salaries. Let's say this team just says, you know what, Gordon Hayward, yeah, you're not Larry Bird, bud. I don't see it working. They could trade him and some draft picks and bring in a better small forward, Kawhi. Yeah, they could bring in Kawhi Leonard. Or they could trade Kyrie, which I don't know if they're really going to do that. They could trade Kyrie. I don't know exactly who you could get because I think Kyrie's one of the better point guards in the league. I mean, literally, there's only 2 point guards you would actually have to trade for. You know, if you were to do a point guard switch, and that's Steph Curry, which ain't going to happen, and OKC, which ain't going to happen. So, dang, why does everyone keep missing layups today? Is it National Miss a Layup Association Day? Like, I'm confused. But anywho, we're gonna, dang, Al Horford missed it. I'm gonna assume they keep the core together for at least another year. They re-sign Kyrie. They re-sign Al Horford, but for like a cheaper deal, takes a discount to keep the core intact, which would be the smart thing for him to do. They keep Marcus Smart, Terry Rozier, Jaylen Brown, and Jason Tatum. We're going to assume they keep the core together, but they just get more experience. They just add another year to their belt for being a team and staying together. I feel like this year they could make the NBA Finals. But like I said, they'll probably lose in 5 to Golden State. But that second year, that following year, let's say they don't bring back DeMarcus Cousins. Let's say this team falls apart. Let's say the team just falls apart. Let's just say, you know, DeMarcus Cousins doesn't come back. Klay Thompson's gone. Which are, by the way, all real possibilities. It's not like we're just trying to say that and hope that, you know, something bad happens. It's a real possibility. So let's say it actually does go through. The Warriors start to dismantle their team. Then the Celtics have to be in the driver's seat, right? It's going to be between them and probably the Lakers, who I did talk about in the last video. As you see, I keep turning the ball over. My IQ is like going down every play. Yeah, it could come down to the Celtics and the Lakers if this Golden State team gets dismantled, which a lot of people are hoping for. I don't know, man. It's really tough. It's all about commitment. And at the end of the day, you have to prove that you're on board with whatever the team wants to do. You can't just be self-centered and all about you. So that's kind of like my 2 cents there. I feel like it's going to come down to the Celtics and the Lakers if that Golden State team gets dismantled. So who would win? Well, LeBron's really good at recruiting players, at least trying to get an all-star caliber player on his team. I mean, he got Kevin Love in that swap for Andrew Wiggins. He was able to get guys like Ray Allen to go over there. He was able to get Chris Bosh to go over there to Miami. So he's pretty much proven that he can get basically whoever he can possibly get, as long as it's in his direct control. And I know I always joke around and say, well, LeBron's like the GM of the Cavs, and now he's the co-general manager of the Lakers, so that's always cool. Yeah, if he doesn't like a player, they're going to be out of there. So that's going to be interesting as well. I would probably say the Celtics have a good shot at winning a championship. I'm going to give them, between the next 3 years, a legit 40% chance of winning a title. It's still going to be, it's good odds because obviously you got the Warriors, you got the Lakers, and possibly the Rockets or whoever else can just step up to the plate. So that's always interesting as well. I feel like the Celtics do have a good chance. It's all going to come down to if they can keep that core together, which is always a tough part in sports because everyone wants their money. Everyone wants to get paid. So it's all going to come down to the player morale. And I think the Celtics, their group of players, yeah, the All-Stars want to get paid, but I think Al Horford would take a discount. I seriously think that could happen. And if that does, well, game over. But by the way, like, subscribe, share the video, and leave your feedback down below. Do you think the Celtics will win a NBA championship? Do you think they'll be able to dethrone the Warriors? Comment down below your thoughts. I'm going to say give it a few years. They just got to keep the core together and get more experienced. You guys enjoy.